Hey Pioneers, welcome to our newest edition of See You in the Workplace. I'm Zachary Staszewski from the Office of Alumni Engagement, and this month we're continuing our virtual interviews with notable Carroll alumni, talking about their various careers, industries, and workplaces.
My name is John Catania. I graduated from Carroll in 1982. I was a self-designed music theater major. I then went on to have a professional acting and theater directing career. And then when I moved to New York City, I transitioned into television producing. And I became a television producer for a program that aired on PBS. It's called In the Life. For that program, I was a producer, the editor, a writer, and I really have continued on that career track to this day. My reason for producing In the Life back when I got into it in 1993 is a combination of joy and rage and anger. I had a successful career in acting and directing, put there by the fantastic foundation of the Carroll College Theater Department. Then around 1992, there was a huge outburst of LGBT. At that time, it was really just lesbian and gay. We hadn't added the B or the T yet, really, bisexual or transgender. So the lesbian and gay energy was just percolating and was intense. And I was living in the heart of it in New York City. And then I stumbled across this program called In the Life that was months old. And I remember I had met my now husband, and he said that he was the producer of a show called In the Life on PBS. I started to volunteer for this organization that he worked for. We wore multiple hats. And suddenly I went from volunteering to TV producing in a year. And so it was very easy for me to look back to those roots and realize that what is our mascot? We're pioneers. So it seemed very fitting that this Carroll pioneer would get involved in this project, which was the first thing of its kind anywhere in the world, which was this gay and lesbian television series. We were going to our subjects and saying, you're gay, you have a story to tell, will you go on television and tell it? And I, as much as our work behind the scenes was impactful, those people were brave.
Can you talk a little bit about, after In the Life was over, what you've been doing since the early 2000s in terms of promoting LGBTQ stories, advocating across the world, and the types of work that you're doing,
Sure.
The last 2 decades?
Well, after my husband and I left In the Life full-time staff in the early 2000s, now the show continued until 2012, and we continued to produce for them as freelancers. And then in 2015, the Supreme Court in June said that you must allow gay couples to get married in America. It really was still the culmination. Now the movement is still working very hard. There's a lot of things to be addressed, but that moment was something that the movement had been tumbling toward for decades. And it happened. There's a lot of the world that doesn't enjoy these rights. They're maybe 30 years behind our movement, maybe more. Reached out to the US Embassy, and we would say, are you interested in having us come speak? We can show stories on In the Life. We can talk about this. And they were like, great. So we started to do the speaking because we realized that they could be inspired by these same stories that we produced 20 years ago. And I did have a sense of that history, and I knew that it would be preserved. We saved every tape we ever shot. It was filling up huge storage rooms, We went to the UCLA Film and Television Archive, and they accepted the entire collection for archivists, for documentarians, reflecting on and understanding the importance of history and understanding how it might impact your life decisions. I have one word, and that word is pioneer. Pioneer, pioneer, pioneer. Because there are ways, even today, even though the space is so crowded and so many people are saying so many things and doing so many various things, there is still the opportunity to be a pioneer in your passion. I really believe that.
Well, thank you so much, John. And it really was a pleasure to connect again. Thank you so much for sharing your story. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.